Ho, ho, ho! Ho, 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 ho! It's me, that D-O-double-G. My arm's knackered after shaking them jingle bells. I tell you what, there's only so much you can do. I was getting out of beat and everything there. But welcome, one and all. And it's podcast time. There's no need to be afraid, because at podcast time, we let in light and we banish shade. And on this weekend of football aplenty, we spread a smile of joy. We put our arms out in the air because it's podcast time. Welcome, one and all. And, there's a world outside your window, and there's a world of dread and fear. And here's Grimmy. How are you this evening, sir?
Full of dread and fear because you're hosting. But yes, I'm good, Josh. How are you?
Oh, yeah, I'm all right. And for the Christmas bells that are clanging, here is the _ queen. Have you been shaking your Christmas bells and getting in the good mood and the spirit, Rebecca?
Yeah. I've been catching up with the Christmas films at the minute. I'm on that kind of run at the moment, but yeah, I'm good, thank you.
Oh, marvellous. What films have you crossed off so far?
I've watched Nativity, Home Alone,
Classic.
Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm not sure if counting that as a Christmas film or Halloween, but it's got Christmas in the title. So,
And Die Hard?
No, not yet. I've never watched that actually.
We've done Home Alone. We did Noel on Disney Plus. That's the Christmas one. What have we done? We've done that. We've done Night Before Christmas. Muppets Christmas Carol. Come on, you gotta get that one. And how about you, Grimace? Any Christmas movies yet?
Not yet, but our usual routine is we watch 2 or 3 Christmas movies on Christmas Eve with like a buffet tea with loads of picky bits. And yeah, we usually watch The Grinch, Home Alone, and usually Harry Potter 1. Weirdly, I don't know why. That's because my wife really likes Harry Potter.
It's when it came out at Christmas as well.
Yeah,
we had Lord of the Rings.
Yeah,
same thing. Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter. Rebecca, how have you never seen Die Hard?
I hadn't. To be fair, in Rebecca's defense, I hadn't seen it until a couple of years back.
Oh my God, we need to do more vetting for this show, you know. This is just unbelievable.
Last question of the application: have you seen Die Hard? No.
What is it? What is going on here? Heather likes your Bicky Bits tea. And good evening, Treaty. Oh my days! Look at that.
2 weeks in a row.
I tell you what. That is just sensational. Welcome, Dreety, with us. And it's not just Dreety, there's Sean. And Sean wants to send congratulations, Rebecca, on her Game 2 ice hockey partnership. Rebecca, just in like 2 minutes, tell us what it is. What is that? Well done.
Today, it was announced that her Game 2 ice hockey are partnering with Manchester Storm, in which we've made history as they are the first Elite League team that we've partnered with. And it's also a very special moment because it is my first ever Her Game 2 ice hockey partnership since I took on the role as team leader. So it's a very, very exciting moment.
Oh, it's going down a storm. But well done, Rebecca. It does. It takes a lot of work to get these deals done and over the line. So well done on your perseverance and effort. Actually, this woman's just amazing. The time and effort and energy she has to do so many things, just mind-blowing. I struggle, getting out of bed, having a shower and going to work. Rebecca's here smashing uni on all the pods, doing her Game 2, going to games, just belting. Well done, Rebecca. Be proud. And Heather is here as well. Spenny fan Chris. Is it strange having this on a Tuesday? But at least there is indeed there is. I thought you said at least there's snow, but there is a show this evening. Let us know what you think about Tuesdays. Let us know, does it work? Does it work for you? How does it make you feel? And there is this Graham, beautiful people. I like the fact that they're sort of like the plural, as opposed to sort of picking out one individual. I like that. Thank you very much. And Heather as well. Obviously, Simon, as we've said. We've already said Treaty and bit of controversy. Oh, just very quickly. Look at that. Off Simon, that's for you, Rebecca. You said, chat to be here today. She's so proud of you, Rebecca. Indeed, we all are. Look, Graham as well. That's lovely. Great stuff off Spenny fan Chris. And we've got greetings from America this evening. Greetings, America, to all of America. Massive America. Is it Tuesday next week? The next week, I'm not sure about the next week, but next week it is indeed Tuesday. Don't mean to be a dick. I'm just reading it literally. I'm doing the old anchor man and reading it as I see it. Put anything up there, give it a go.
All caps start screaming down at the mic.
But it is it is Tuesday next week as well. We're trying something out. Let us know how it makes you feel. Is there anything else in the chat that I haven't missed? And yeah, just before we get into anything, Sean, just a bit of blasphemy in the chat. The Die Hard is not a Christmas film. Grim thinks it absolutely is. Before we get into anything on this award-winning show, if you want content on football, this is the best new content creators for football. Grimmy, is Die Hard a Christmas film?
I would say yes.
Good. Rebecca, you haven't watched it, so really, I shouldn't ask you because your opinion's irrelevant to this, but is it a Christmas film?
I feel like we need an episode of just educating me on different things because there's been many things that have just gone over my head. I'm going to say yes, just purely so that I don't get kicked off the podcast.
Wow, well done. And Zach's 100% yes as well. It is. It's set at Christmas, come out at Christmas. He says ho, ho, ho in it. Ho, 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 I've got a gun. How much more Christmassy can you get? Someone saying ho, ho, ho with a gun. Anyway, there you go. Simon as well. Well done. 100% in. Dreety's 100% in. Now we're cooking. Now we're cooking with gas. Now that's been settled. This award-winning show for football content. Let's talk a little bit about football. 7 minutes in, shall we? And I made notes. Can't find them. I've lost them because my phone locked. But we're going to talk about the big results in regards to the title race. I believe it was Arsenal and Man City both dropping points. Grimmy, how did that one make you feel?
Great, because I had nothing else to really cheer for the rest of the weekend. Yeah, it was interesting to see. I felt like City were back to the usual shenanigans after battering whoever it was during the midweek game, and yeah, they seemed to struggle against Paris. I think Palace had a couple of decent chances where they could have won it, and then I think Fulham proving a stern test for Arsenal as well, and for most of the league at the minute with their solid form. So not really too much of a surprise that they're dropping points as well. But yeah, always happy to see City dropping points, especially with the ongoing court case going on. But yeah,
I know. Do you know what? I wouldn't say it was necessarily City playing that. City weren't good, but Palace were quite decent, weren't they?
Yeah, they were. I think that point they got against Newcastle has definitely given them a bit of an uptick because they seem to just have a bit more energy in their game now. And they certainly had. I think they were outrunning City's midfield quite a lot, which wasn't really surprising considering you had Gundogan, De Bruyne, and maybe I think it was Lewis maybe playing in midfield as well. Yeah. But yeah, Palace definitely gave City as good as they got, really.
Yeah, it was good. And Kyle Walker being shown up at the core. I mean, because some of the goals you can say, well, City's engine maybe lacking, they're missing that influential player. But to concede goals like that off a corner, that's just not good, is it? It's just not good. I mean, you should know all about missing set pieces supporting Man United. It's not good, is it, when that happens?
I wouldn't like to possibly comment on that one, but yeah. The thing is, I can't even have a dig back because Liverpool didn't even play this weekend, so it's like it's not even fair. I'm like fighting with one hand behind my back. But yeah, City with their set pieces recently haven't been with all parts of the game haven't really been at it. And again, there's going to be tougher teams than Palace set piece wise, especially the likes of Arsenal and people like that who've got the height and power to give them problems. So, be interested to see what happens in the next few weeks.
It is a comment from Zach. City wins 3-0 to Forest, then plays like that against Palace. Do you think they'll even get into Europe next season? Or as Heather said, do you think they're going to be in League Two next season?
Aki versus City.
Aki versus City. There you go.
Can you imagine? I mean, for Europe wise, goodness, they'll be in a European competition. Do you think they're going to drop that far off?
I can't see them dropping that far off. I think that it's, again, like we've mentioned the past couple of weeks on the podcast, the league table is so tight right now that a loss here or there really does drop you down. But again, I can't see City losing 2-3 on the trot again. So I think they'll be at least, they might squeeze the Conference League, to be fair.
just getting the dig there. I mean, Rebecca, we're getting. Simon said Kyle Walker's looking like he's running through treacle/tar this season. I'm not sure what's probably. I'd rather run through treacle than tar, because I think tar would probably burn, because it's quite hot. When it's solid, it's like a road, but hot tar that just singe your feet off. So I'd say more like treacle. I go into the treacle line. Are you enjoying this City downfall? Or do you think they'll be in Europe next season?
I mean, I think they will be. I think it's all one of these where you've always got the thought of FFP hanging over them. We all know that it's probably just going to be a fine and that's it. But there is always the thing of last season, 10 points for Everton, the points for Forest. So there is still that thought looming over them. So it's going to be one of them where could that impact on whether they get Europe or not? Especially with the form they're in, you hit them with a big points deduction. That could massively impact on the way they're playing. We've seen in recent weeks the up and downs of City going from the win against Forest to now the weekend dropping points. It is a tough one, but I can see them still getting Europe if they're able to pull back from it all. And then I don't really like seeing them dropping points because I do want a title race. As an Everton fan, I can't just have Liverpool running off with it. But, I mean, both City and Arsenal dropping points this weekend, it's been perfect for Liverpool. So it keeps it all open. But if City want to pick up, I'm happy.
I mean, and Pep Guardiola, I think, is he broken at the moment? he was questioned about Rico Lewis. You know, do you think it should have been a second yellow and sent off? And he just kept saying it's Rico. It's Rico. Like someone needed to kick him. Like, I don't know. You're too young, Rebecca. You remember this, Grimmy, the old vinyls that are playing? And you just had to give him a little nudge. Do you think Pep needed someone just to give him a little, just kick him back into play? What's going on?
I think I've always wanted someone to give Pep a bit of a kick back into humanity, to be fair. But I think he's been affected by all of the speculation, all of the scrutiny when things haven't been going well. He's found out that it's 10 times worse than when he's winning all the time. So I think he's been suffering with that a little bit. I did see a clip through the week. I think there was like a fan was videoing him. Well, I say a fan.
Yeah.
There was someone videoing him. And
an individual.
An individual, shall we say, who got him to bite a little bit, which again, I think if he'd been winning 10 in a row, he probably wouldn't be bothered and he'd just keep on walking. But because of how it's been, he's obviously a little bit more on the grouchy side.
And in fairness, all the fans said was, "Didn't win though, did you?" And that was it. And like that sparked him off to want to fight him. So at the moment, if you want to fight Pep Guardiola, just mention a result to him.
Yeah,
that's it. That's done. I mean, Zach said, "Don't understand City not using Doku enough, and every time he subs in, the team gets a spark." And De Bruyne and Walker have showed their age. And Tottenham saying there's no get-out clause in Pep's contracts. I'd love to see him manage in League Two. That would be nice. And they look at it. There's not a lot of love for City. Hopefully, City get deducted the same amount of points as charges. And Spenny fan was saying the Man City court case probably won't be announced until March, which is embarrassing. Although what I would say it's a big case. So 3 months for a court case to deliberate of that sort of implication. I say court case, our case. It's not a court case, really, is it? It's like Premier League court. It's like wrestlers' court. I think a little bit that they used to have with the Undertaker and the WWE, you know. But yeah, we'll see. We shall see what transpires there. I mean, Rebecca, do you think Kyle Walker, KDB showing their age, and maybe it's that spark that they're lacking at Man City at the moment?
I think it's just one of them where every player is being impacted by the current situation at City. There isn't really the spark or the energy with many of them. And we know how talented Kevin De Bruyne is. I don't think it's one of them he's showing his age. I think it's just the pressure is on them now to perform and get the results because it is a difficult time. So I think, no offence to Kyle Walker, I think his is. We have seen him slow down over the last few years, and he is being outrun by the wingers now. And there's just different mistakes that are being made, but I don't think it is like that with Kevin De Bruyne.
Well, I did see, which is quite telling. I'm not sure if you noticed this. Pep was asked about Kevin De Bruyne, and he said something along the lines of, "I wish I had him at 23, and I wish he was 23, and then we could give him a 10-year contract." Kevin De Bruyne is 33 at the moment, so I sort of read that. Is that Pep saying, "Done now, mate. He's done." Neto. I mean, because it's not looking healthy, is it, Grimmy, that relationship at the minute?
No, I mean, I think there's been a few questions over the past few weeks as to why De Bruyne has not been put in when clearly they've needed a bit of a spark. And, you know, I think as seasons have gone on with De Bruyne, his injuries have just seemed to just pile up, and he just picks up these little injuries, or he gets a massive injury and he's out for a year or half a season or whatever. And it seems to have caught up with him a little bit. I mean, for me, he's still one of the best midfielders in the Premier League. And if he's anywhere near fit, I'd still play him. But again, I'm not Pep Guardiola. I don't see him on a training ground. I don't know what's going on there. But you can definitely see there is a little bit of a crack in that relationship between De Bruyne and Guardiola. And I think even last season, when De Bruyne was coming back, there was a little bit you could see when the interactions with each other weren't quite so jovial or collaborative, I shall say. So yeah, I do think this could end up being De Bruyne's last year with City. I think he might end up going somewhere else, whether that's another big team or Saudi or somewhere else like that. I don't know, but I said it last week. I do think this year is very much an end of an era vibe to this particular City team, and there will be a big refresh in the summer.
It'll be a refreshing summer. Depending what league they're in. Nobody knows. They'll be in the Premier League. I mean, like Graham's saying here, I know in the Premier League, City's punishment will be Everton will get deducted 4 points.
Yeah.
Feels about right, that one. Simon saying Josh went to wrestlers court. Rebecca looking like, what the? Oh, he said WTH. What the hell? Oh, well done. I thought that was going to be something else after that team. What the hell is he on about? So saying wrestlers court. If you know, you know. Yeah, if you know, and whether that's a cool thing or not, I'll let you be the judge of that. I think I'm freaking cool. But yeah. The loves disappear between KDB and Pep Guardiola. In the words of the Hanson, where's the love? Where's the love? And as we mentioned as well, Arsenal drawing with Fulham in true form. I dropped Raul Jimenez out of my fantasy Premier League team, and he scores. Well done, awesome. That makes me really happy. All the players that I took out scored. Son scored. I took him out as well this week, so it was a cracker. So Rebecca, what do you think that's done to Arsenal's title aspirations? They've drawn 5, lost 2. They've only got. Well, they've got a goal difference of 14, so still quite healthy, but they're starting to shake a little bit. Do you think?
I mean, they've got us this weekend, so I can't really say much, can I?
Go on, jinx it.
I don't think I could. No, I think it has massively impacted the title race for them, the form they're on. It will just be our luck they bounce back this weekend, but we'll just ignore that until it happens. I mean, Fulham are a really tough side to break down at the minute. We've seen the performances in recent weeks, so you knew for Arsenal it'd be a struggle, and it did prove that. So it is going to be an interesting one. I do think this has impacted them, but with the current form that they're in, there isn't really much to say about it. They're making their own problems when it comes to the results they're getting. There's matches that they could be winning. There's matches that they should be, but it's just not happening.
And Simon say, I mean, I'm not going to jinx anything, but Simon said that he believes the title is Liverpool's to lose. I used to think it's too tight to call it. It's too tight because with Arsenal and Man City slipping, coming in from apparently nowhere is Chelsea. Chelsea is second, 4 points behind. Granted, we've got that game in hand. 4 points behind. I mean, grimace. I thought Chelsea were washed. I thought they were going to finish 12th this season. The manager's name, whose pronunciation escapes me.
Maresca?
I think Rebecca knows it better than me. How do you pronounce his name?
I'm going to say
Chelsea.
like Grimmy, Maresca.
I think. What's going on? What is this rejuvenation?
I mean,
For the nation.
It's hard to put a finger on it, really, because I was also like you, Josh, where I thought Chelsea were going to be mid-table, suffering, not really anywhere near the European places, in all honesty. But again, they score goals for fun. I think they won 5-1 midweek, and then they scored 4 against Spurs. So that's like 9 goals in 2 games or whatever. And I think they scored a few before that as well. So, you know, it's really impressive that he's gone in, Maresca, and made them gel so well. I mean, we saw Chelsea were starting to sort of put it together towards the end of last year. But again, didn't necessarily foresee them being 4 points off the top after, you know, a third of the season's gone by. So I just think, you know, they are in the title race. I don't think you can argue that. It's just, I think my hesitancy with Chelsea is whether or not they're going to be able to play the big teams and beat them. I think at Stamford Bridge, they'll always have a good chance, but away, like they lost 2-0 to Liverpool. And again, I think away to like likes of City, they might struggle. But again, if you can go 2-0 down against Spurs and still go and score 4 goals and bring it back, you've got a chance against anybody, really.
I mean, well, they drew against United, though. You know,
I mean, you know,
That's
we had Ruud van Nistelrooy in charge of that game. Anything could have happened.
It's true. It's like a little blotch on their plate. I mean, and Sean's mentioned Curry trolling Spurs with holding on to a lead. We are going to come on to Spurs, so hold that thought. And but Graham said, can't believe we're talking about Chelsea being in the title picture. I have to give Maresca credit for that, especially given he has a squad of more players than Man City have charges. It is very true, and I admire the way he's sort of gone in and sorted that team. I mean, what I can't remember what your prediction was for Chelsea at the start of the season, Rebecca. So you can either be honest and remember, or you can just lie and say, I knew he was going to do well. Have they impressed you?
I think I had them quite low down. But then also in saying that, I had Everton 10th, so I don't think my predictions are anything to go off at this point.
It's still possible.
Yeah.
I mean, I do know what we'll touch on Everton at some point, but you surely you must be impressed at the moment, then.
Yeah. They've capitalised massively this weekend with City and Arsenal both dropping points. It's like they knew what they had to do heading into the match, and they did what they had to. I mean, for them to be sitting second in the league already, 4 points off Liverpool, it is a good one for them. They are now becoming more Chelsea than, as I said last week, Cole Palmer and Chelsea. It seemed to just be always him and he'd be like the main one, but it's now you've got various different players stepping up to do the job and taking the goal. So they are gelling better as a team, and they have shocked me, but it is a good shock in terms of I thought that they were going to be quite bad, but they've actually proven me wrong. So well done, Chelsea.
I don't know if you noticed that you chucked a little rhyme in there. You know, you said you know what they had to do, and they went out and what? No, that's not what you said. What did you say? They did what they had to do. That was it. They knew what they had to do, and they went out and did it too. I said, well done, Rebecca. But I didn't want to break your stride. Heather reckons she put them in 4th. I don't believe you. Prove it. You can prove it. I got something with a timestamp on, a picture with your prediction and the newspaper of the day. in a prediction with their friends. Yeah, I've got that too. But Cole Palmer and Maduaki are dangerous. Great about Chelsea in his top 20. That was a
very
good,
brave of you, Graham.
That's a good shout. Grimmy, Jadon Sancho scoring goals. Ooh, were you impressed? Did you think, ooh, what we're missing out on?
Not really. After what happened last season, it was kind of like, just get rid of him. He's going to go. We've had plenty of players who've gone elsewhere and done really well, and he's just going to be added to that long list probably. But yeah, it's just one of those things. Even if he was with us this season, I don't think he would have done anything spectacular. I don't think.
Just asshole, and he's on this.
Let's
be fair. And I tell you, while we're on the game, it was Tottenham Hotspur 3, Chelsea 4. Tottenham Hotspur steaming into an early lead, steaming 2-0 up within 15 minutes, only to go and throw that away somehow. I mean, I would argue this was much more Tottenham defensively just having a nightmare than Chelsea playing well. Well, Chelsea, 35 goals, highest. 35 goals, is it? 35? Let me just double check myself. It is.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Highest in the Premier League. And so, they're scoring the goals. But Spurs, Grimmy, broken Spurs. Spenny Funker Spurs being Spursy again. Full Spursy mode activated. What's it going to take? Why can't they just hold on? Why can't they do well? Why do they keep breaking?
It's very difficult to put my finger on it because they have the players and the pieces there. They just don't seem to be able to. They don't have effective game management. And I thought I think if it was Romero and who was the other central defender?
I don't know. I like Van der Ven, but it wasn't him, was it?
But basically, going into the match, everyone thought Spurs are going to have like a backup central defender, and that's it in the central defense. And then having Romero and the other guy back in, everyone was like, "Oh well, Spurs might have a chance here." And then they went 2-0 up, and it's kind of like, right, as long as Spurs don't Spurs, we're fine. But let me tell you, Spurs. But to be honest, they aren't the frustrating thing is with Spurs is they aren't far away, and I feel like if they could just get it together for like 1 or 2 games in a row, they could go on a run and just put that to bed. But they're not going to do that because the next few matches aren't exactly appealing to the eye. When they've got Southampton next in the league, they should probably win that 5-0, but end up losing that 2-1, something stupid like that. But then you've got Liverpool the Sunday after, and then Nottingham Forest after that. So it's it's a bit up and down in terms of the fixtures that they could have had. But it's just like going forward, Ange has them working so well. Even against Chelsea, they managed to score 3 goals. So clearly they have everything they need going forward. It's just defensively, for some reason, they just can't see it out, even from 2-0 up. And again, Chelsea with the attacking squad they have, you'd expect them to get a goal or 2. But again, when you're 2-0 up at home, you need to be holding on to those sort of leads.
Yeah, it's as Simon saying, Tottenham players wouldn't make good dog walkers. They always lose the lead. Rebecca enjoyed that one. Look at that smirk, man.
I was wondering why she was giggling. I was like, what's she giggling away at?
Simon, you got owned then. You got owned by Rebecca's smirk. Like, so harsh. She's so harsh. She wouldn't get it off me. I just appreciate all of you. And all the love that you give us. Rebecca's just like digging people out.
I didn't even realise. I'm just laughing at the fact that Spurs have done an Everton, but worse.
It was. I mean, it was bad. I mean, because they were quite dominant. I mean, I was watching one of those podcasts where everyone gets really excited and just says crazy things. But one of the things that somebody did say is that Spurs owned Chelsea in that game and they should have won. They made the more chance. I mean, I haven't looked at the stats, so I'm going to see if it's accurate. Shots, to be fair, they're about massively down on possession. But I would say watching the game, they actually sort of did deserve it for the majority of the time. But the big crucial change I think that was made, and fair play to Mameska quite early, I don't know if you noticed, but Cucurella was Crapperella and got hooked immediately. Rebecca, did you catch any of that? Did you see all the Crappyrella sulking when he went off?
Yeah. Have you also seen the picture of his boots in bin?
Yeah, in the bin, yeah.
That'd be good. What did you think? Do you think there was more Spursy being Spursy in that one?
I think, yeah, it's one of them. Chelsea were Chelsea, Spurs were Spurs. I think that's the only analysis I've got of that match. I mean, the way issue, I think Cucurella blaming his boots. It's just like, just take the blame for this one. Like, if you make a mistake, hold your hands up and own it. Like, don't just be, oh yeah, it's the boots, because we all know it's live for everyone to see. So, it is a difficult one for Spurs, 2-0 up to then get beat 4-3. As I said, they channeled their inner Everton, but worse from our performances at the beginning of the season. there is a lack of consistency among Spurs, and I feel as though that's what's affecting them. Like Grimmy said, they can't get a run together. If they were able to, I think, get them going again, because they do have the goal scorers. They scored 3, all different goal scorers. Solanke getting on the score sheet as well. They're like key players that Tottenham have. They just can't get them going proper.
We mentioned consistency. I wonder if that's it full stop for them, because you had people will say, well, they've had all these managers who haven't been able to get a tune out of them. I forget all the managers they've had now: Conte, Jose, someone else, Ange. Who else have they had? Jose, Conte, and Nuno, who's doing bits now.
He was there for like 10 games, wasn't he? Yeah.
Ryan Mason.
Yeah, for the cup final.
Yeah, but do you think maybe it is that consistency that they haven't had any? I mean, even if you look at the managers, 2 seasons. I think if somebody lasted 2 seasons, you think that's been a big thing, because they're having to have that change of manager, change of style, change of coaching every sort of 2 years or something. It doesn't really freshen up. I think in football you need that. I mean, Grimace, as a man whose team gets very excited by changing managers, do you think that that could be it, or do you think it's deeper rooted with Spurs?
I think it's partly. Well, I think my main thing with Spurs is the squad needs a bit more depth, because I do think once you take out Romero and I can't remember what is that guy's name. I'm gonna have to look at it. And the other central defenders, once you take their 2 main centre backs out, that's the one. Once them 2 are gone, there isn't really much in terms of backup there, and it's kind of like, I feel like if they had that and maybe 1 or 2 other, whether it's defensive midfielders or wing backs or whatever, in there in rotation that they can rely upon, not just have there as a body, then I think Spurs would be a lot more consistent. And I do think, and people were having a go at Ange yesterday, because he said in his post-match interview, he was like, we probably need 1 or 2 in January. And people are like, well, you've had plenty of signings. You should be able to, make of what you've got. But at the end of the day, Spurs do need to spend a little bit more than others to push up the table. They're not like, the Liverpools or Cities or Arsenals. I know Liverpool don't necessarily tend to spend that much in the grand scheme of things. But in comparison to Spurs over the past 10 years, obviously those teams have spent a lot more. So I do think Ange needs a bit of help in terms of the player department, but I also think he does need to tweak things a little bit more, because I do think he is a bit too gung-ho with it. Like, it's good being gung-ho when you're 4-5-0 up, but if you're still playing your rivals and you're a goal or 2 up, you still need to manage that at a certain point. And I just don't think he does that quite enough to really envision Spurs climbing up the table and getting that top 4 like they want.
Yeah, because it's not top 4. That ain't happening this season. I don't think. I think it's far too competitive. But who knows? Just Spurs, sort your lives out.
But that's the thing about Spurs, though, and that's the thing that frustrates me, is of all the seasons when you want them to put a run together, it's this one where City are looking vulnerable. You've got other teams taking points off the top 4 consistently. It's like, if they could just put 5 or 6 good games together, they'd be right in with a shout of that top 4. And it's just, I mean, I wish United could put 2 good games together, never mind 4, but that's another discussion for another day.
No, it's this day. Don't you worry.
I know it's coming.
Yeah, I think, can we just jumping through some of the chat? I mean, Sean said if Spurs spend the same as Chelsea, they may improve, but not hold them much hope. If they just just spend a fair bit, they'd be all right. I think they've got the money there, so who knows? Other lines we've had. Incidentally, Heather has posted a WhatsApp chat evidence from the 7th of August. It is there. And she says top 4, something like Man City, Arsenal, Liverpool, and Chelsea? Question mark. So it is there. Incidentally, let's see what else she's got in here. Just out of interest. Who's Scum? She got Premier relegation, Brentford, Scum, and Ipswich. Now, I don't know who that's meant to be. Shame on you, Southampton.
Surely.
I know. Don't call me Shirley. Get in, baby. Graham's saying, but Graham's going to compete with that. He's the king of crap one-liners out here. Everyone trying to steal my crown. The legend of Graham, says Zach. Heather's just showing off the fact that Bournemouth dominated Spurs and 1-0 massively flattered them. That's just because he's supporting a team that performs. Gosh. Graham said not so much Cinderella of the ugly sisters. It was a case of Cucurella with his ugly slippers when he fell over for that Spurs goal. And Zach just wants to know about your lighting. Have you got a bit of glare going on? Don't know.
It's the chandelier.
Have you got a chandelier?
Kind of.
She's got a
like,
chandelier.
You can't actually tell. No, it's not like a proper one.
She's doing podcast.
Try not to look directly at the one.
Do you know? You're missing out what a hoot that is, looking directly at light. I tell you, honestly. Check it out, kids. Heather's confirmed it is Southampton. Saints scum. Terrible. Southampton fans, I don't condone that sort of behaviour. Graham said it's Rebecca's natural glow because she's amazing. Oh, they're lovely. They're just so lovely. So the ink. He just wants to like throw a spanner in the works here for everybody. She knows the Premier League show, but Bradford City through to the next round of the EFL Trophy. Woohoo! Woohoo! Well done, Bradford City. Well done. Solid effort. Solid effort.
Not bitter at the fact both my teams got knocked out of that one.
No, not at all.
And like even Heather's giving a bit of that. It's just nice to see. And they're lovely. People celebrating each other's victories while we're here mocking Spurs. We're not mocking Spurs. We're analysing what on earth is going on with Spursy being Spursy. And incidentally, where was it? Where was that line gone? There we are. Amazing. Spurs were Spurs. Chelsea were Chelsea. That's what was Kieran's great analysis the one day? God, what was it?
Something like the match was won in 90
The match was won by a goal.
Yeah.
The match was won by a goal. Award-winning content.
Well, like Michael Owen, if he misses that, he doesn't score a goal.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, sure.
And Michael Owens, I don't know why Liverpool fans don't like me. Who knows, you treacherous little worm. So not that I'm bitter or anything. But Rebecca, so Liverpool Everton, no Merseyside derby. I bet you were so relieved because thinking I can't cope with that gloating toss part on this week's show. But it's not happening. We're saving that for another day. Do you think that benefits or hinders Liverpool though in the long run?
I think it will benefit in terms of, like we've mentioned, teams such as City and Arsenal dropping points. The only team that did capitalise on the fact it was postponed was Chelsea. They're still 4 points behind. So there is, Liverpool are enough points clear at the top to still be top after a match is postponed, which I think just shows how well, through gritted teeth, I'll say this, how well they are doing and the performances that they are putting in to pick up the points that they need. It is going to be a tough fixture that Liverpool have in hand. I mean, going to Goodison is never easy. We all remember what happened last season, and I will hold that. We all remember that one. And so it is like Everton were struggling at that point, got the win. It is what it is. So it is a difficult fixture to have in hand. I just do not want it to be, because it's been rumoured, the last match of the season. There is no way that the Premier League can decide, let's have the last ever Merseyside derby at Goodison to be on the last match of the season, and it'll just be our luck that Liverpool were to win the league on that day.
Do you know, I can't
Everton trying to stay up, not Liverpool winning the title.
It could be both. You never know, but hopefully they get it done soon, because...
Yeah. I mean, I would argue if it's going to happen, they'll ram it in sometime between January and February. I think because I mean the last couple of games, all the television stuff, and all be last match of the season's all set up. I can't see it being that. But I mean, I'll ask you, Grimmy. I mean, it's going to be rammed into a schedule. They're probably already busy, judging by the fact the slot seems to be taking all the cups quite seriously and putting some, adult teams out there. We won today against Sharona, 1-0, intently with a Salah penalty. So we're still top of that Champions League table. He just, I think he only knows like a small number of numbers slot. So he knows the number 1, what that means in English. So he just wants to keep that consistent, make it easy for him. That's what I think it is. But given the fact that he's likely to have a lot of games, that game is going to have to be shoehorned in somewhere. Do you think it is a benefit, as Arsenal fans are saying, because they just want to moan about something, or do you think it's a bit of a hindrance, the fact that there's going to be a huge clump of games in a short period of time?
I think short term it makes a good benefit. It's like a positive benefit to Liverpool because it gives you and the players a couple of days extra rest heading into probably the Christmas period. I think where longer term it'll probably give you a bit of a negative effect is if, like you say, it gets jammed into that sort of jam-packed January schedule that we see with like the FA Cup coming in, some of the League Cup semi-finals I think get played then as well. So it really depends. If it goes into like February time where I think maybe the Champions League starts to kick back in with the knockouts, it might be a bit better, but again, it all depends on the scheduling, really. But I think for Liverpool short term, it will help them because, again, giving everyone a bit of a extended break in the middle of that sort of, or just before that Christmas period, means they can sort of fire on all cylinders when they start the Premier League again next weekend.
Yeah, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. I'm not sure where I sit, which side of the fence I'm on. I might have to just straddle it like a fine stallion and ride it down the line. I've been watching a lot of Yellowstone. So
you can't tell.
Oh, what a show. What a show. By the way, I know best football content creator, Yellowstone. Check it out, people.
I haven't watched it. We'll put it on the list.
You need to buy Paramount Plus, though. But it's like £3, something like that.
I think I've got that somewhere.
So you'll be all right. Rebecca, I think it's 18, so I'm not sure if you can watch that.
I got told I look 14 the other week at an Aki match, so we're all right.
Yeah, well, I like the fact that I then got that shut up your tosser eyes off Rebecca then as well. Just keeping it consistent, everybody.
You see what she said? You hear what Rebecca says to him when we go off camera. Good Lord.
The private chat, she's so abusive.
The air turns blue.
Honestly.
Yeah.
Toffee blue.
Expletive like that. Angry one finger typing. That's what she does then. Where are we? Everyone? There was loads of chat that I did miss out on. We've already touched on Rebecca's natural glow. Everyone celebrated
today.
Well, swings in roundabouts, you big mean. I'm only joking. She's not mean. Right, let me just clarify. Rebecca isn't. I don't think she knows how to be mean. She doesn't have that capability. She's just lovely. And so I was saying, EFL trophy completed it, mate. And Sean was asking, who did you knock out, Treaty? It was Stockport, Sean. I don't know why I did like a feminine voice for Sean. I'm asking for Treaty. Got that the wrong way round, didn't I? And it was a masculine cowboy. Like, well, I got this one. Don't know what that was all about. But,
too much Yellowstone.
Yeah, broken, didn't I? And Heather was saying with Bournemouth in the Championship, it happened. They had a game delayed. Game against Forest postponed. They came down for us to win auto promotion that night. I don't know what happened. What happened? Because I can't remember. I don't follow Bournemouth. I'm in suspense now. Keeping me in suspense. Suspenders. Well, they came down for us. Oh, they won auto. Oh, right, I get you. I misread it.
Read the message.
I didn't get what she was saying. I thought they came down for us to win.
Yeah, they came down because the game had got postponed.
I didn't say she was
won
telling
automatic
us
promotion by winning the game.
I thought they meant they could win it.
Don't worry, Heather. I understand you.
well, just dreadful. What a disappointment. What a disappointment. Talking of disappointments, Manchester United. Right?
I knew that was coming.
Wasn't me. Well, that was just an easy segue. It's nothing to do with me. You know, it is what it is. I can't even remember. So Nottingham Forest, right? United 2, Forest 3. Grimmy, did it make you feel?
Not surprised, to be honest. I didn't watch it live because I was at a friend's wedding on Saturday in the middle of a storm, which I thought trees may well fall on this venue and kill us all. But hey ho, if we go this way.
As long as you get married.
Yeah. Well, you know. I mean, I got fed while I was pretty happy. That's all that mattered to me. But yeah, in terms of the actual match, watching it back, wasn't surprised in the slightest, which is kind of worrying. I mean, Anana definitely had his worst game this season by a long stretch because he's been pretty consistent for us so far up this year. And Forest turned up and did Forest things and scored goals, and we were rubbish.
Yeah, like I said, I mean, Forest playing well. Can't knock Forest. They're doing, but incidentally, Villa are winning 3-1. Who are Villa playing? We said Leipzig. It's not Leipzig, is it? I think somebody. Who did they say?
Leipzig.
Leipzig.
It is Leipzig, is it?
Away from Leipzig.
They're away from Leipzig, or they're away playing at Leipzig?
Away to Leipzig.
Oh, no, I'm getting you tosser eyes off Grimmy as well now.
You've had them for a while, to be fair, Josh. This isn't the first experience.
This is true. He's not got hungry eyes. He's got shut up, you tosser eyes.
I'm going to be singing that all day tomorrow now.
It feels some magic between you and I. Disallowed goal.
To be fair, that would put Villa third in the table, which would be impressive, really, considering who they've had to play.
Weird Champions League table format thing. But yeah, so we're not getting away from it, though. Well done, Nottingham Forest. So solid effort. Part of me, I'm not going. I don't. Yeah, you could join in a minute. Graham said United beat themselves. Did they beat themselves? Like you said, Onana, he's been in my FPL team, so he's done all right for me so far. But he didn't do particularly well. Was it Yoro's first start?
Yeah,
I know.
Yes,
I'm sure. I know he came on as a sub in one game. I don't know if this is his first start. Not getting. I'm trying to remember.
You're throwing questions at me that I'm struggling with today, Josh. Not the first time.
You should make notes.
Do you know the answer? Do you know the answer, Rebecca?
I didn't research Man United. That wasn't me.
Well, maybe you should have.
Yeah,
it is his first start because he didn't start against Arsenal.
Oh, look at that! Are you impressed? I just know these things, you know. I'm just like encyclopedic man of teams I don't even like.
You just guessed.
Things. You
just guessed.
Just things. But yeah, no, not a strongest start. Matthias de Ligt looking a bit like poor man's Maguire. Martinez, Martinez forgetting how to defend and not being able to jump.
To be fair, two of those goals I would say were on Martinez because I felt like if Martinez had just jumped, 2 goals probably don't happen, and we might win that game. But I digress.
No, wait, it's not digressing. That's on topic. We're talking about the United game.
I just want to get away from it, Josh. I just want to get away.
Oh dear. What is? Yeah. No, I think I saw. Jude scored for Real Madrid.
You notice how Sam's not here when United don't win.
Wow, I would say in fairness to Sam, he has been for a lot of United losses. He even came in after that pumping that Liverpool gave you. Was it last season? It was last season. Was it or the season before?
The season before, or the season before that, or this season?
The proper one. Is this the one with all the goals at Old Trafford?
What, the 7? No. I mean, To be fair, I probably would have been if I was here, but
he was all over that young Samuel, bless his heart. But I mean, I think, it's going to take time. Did you think it's just this adjustment period, so you're not with all the mentals online that are going, he's like Ten Hag with hair?
Yes, because what we've all learned from football Twitter or X is that you should follow every single one of their opinions and take them as gospel, because they are some very level-headed, sensible human beings. No, I'm not one of those people. We need to give Amorim a lot of time. The next month alone is going to be interesting because we have City next in the league. Who knows what version of City is going to turn up? Who knows what version of United is going to turn up? Could be the worst City United derby we've ever seen on Sunday, folks. Can't wait to watch that. We're away to Spurs next Thursday in the quarterfinal of the League Cup. Hopefully Spurs can be a bit more Spursy and we can take advantage. We've then got Bournemouth at home, which, again, we've not played well against Bournemouth, I think, for a good 3 or 4 seasons, so that could be another clanger. And then Boxing Day, we're away to Wolves, and Wolves like to just beat us anyway, so who flipping knows at this point, Josh, how we're going to do? We could end up losing all of these games, in all honesty. Wouldn't be surprised if we did. Will I still support Man United? Very much so. Will I want to never show my face on camera again? Probably.
I mean, Treaty's agreeing with it. Who knows what's going to happen at the derby?
If we score a goal, I'll be happy.
Well, correction. She said, God knows what will happen at the derby. And, God does. He already knows. So you'll find out what team he supports on the weekend. And,
I know what team he's not supported for the past 10 years.
I am only joking. Our Lord Almighty does not have a preference in football teams, okay? There isn't a video of him somewhere slagging off a certain German manager and then doing a line of coke. That doesn't exist. He's completely non-biased, straight down the line, right? And not that line. Yeah, I mean, he's neutral, right? So if it doesn't matter who wins, digging. It doesn't mean anything.
Stop digging. Good God.
We'd be shut down in America, I mean, Zach's probably going, oh my God, that's it. He'd be done. Trump would have him. Nothing wrong with anyway, football, right? God. So, Man United.
It's always just getting deeper.
Rebecca's like, this is fine.
Well, we're talking about digging holes. Ineos, then. The problems at United. So far, they've sacked a load of staff. They've all gone. Load of staff. We don't need you lot anymore. Thanks for your service, staff off. They sacked Alex Ferguson. He's gone. No, thanks a lot, Big Al, for everything. They gave Eric Ten Hag a contract in May. Sacked him in November.
Which, to be fair, there was an argument to keep him. It wasn't like we have to totally get rid of him. There was a 50-50 split, don't get me wrong. But keeping a manager and then getting rid of them in November isn't just an Ineos thing. That's a football club general thing.
I'm creating.
I know you're
all
steering
the stuff that's happened.
You want me to bite? I know.
But then they've also obviously brought in their new manager with all of his money, and then they're putting up ticket prices. The club with one of the biggest revenues in world football, they need that. I mean, I took a look. They think they generate about $3 million a game off ticket prices as it stands. That's not enough, apparently.
In his words, we need to utilize the ticket pricing to its full potential. Were his words.
So just rip off the fans. I think his comment. There was a comment. Why should you pay less to see United play than you would do to see Fulham play, which I think is a really shitty comment.
I would make the argument fans should be paying less based on what they're seeing on the pitch.
And also then the thing that come out today is no funded Christmas party. They didn't say no Christmas party. They said because they need to save that much money that you can't celebrate. We're not going to pay for you to celebrate. What? Is this working? What is going on? I mean, I had reservations about Ineos because Sir Jim manages other businesses that he runs, What's going on? Are you apprehensive at this stage, or are you just still rather them than the Glazers?
I mean, it's both of them at the minute, isn't it? It's not just one or the other. I know footballing operations wise, it is Radcliffe and Co and Ineos, and Glazers are sort of whatever they're doing. They're still the big name above the door. I would say up until maybe the past few weeks, I think I was fully behind Ineos, and I would say pretty much the past few weeks, they've done everything possible to make every United fan angry and upset about everything they're deciding to do. I think the first initial things, like the Ferguson being removed from his ambassador role and not being paid $1.5 million a year to do that. I think most people kind of got it a little bit because of the amount he was being paid. And it's kind of like, right, okay, if we're making cutbacks, that's kind of a sensible area to do it. But then, like, the ticket prices going up, then Ashworth going.
Yeah, I didn't even touch on that. There
No.
were two things I missed: Dan Ashworth, and also I've seen that they're not funding the women's team as much as they were. I haven't been able to clarify that, which is why I didn't mention it. But yeah, Dan Ashworth as well.
Yeah, the women's team I haven't seen either. So again, that it is something I've not necessarily noticed specifically in that regard, but I've always felt like ever since we brought the women's team in, we could have done a lot more on that side, but for whatever reason, we just haven't, and it's a shame, really, because I think like a decently funded Man United women's team would do a lot for the women's game and the league itself. But what do I know? I'm just a random punter on the sidelines. But the Ashworth thing was kind of like, okay, so we spent all that money to get Ashworth out of Newcastle, out of gardening leave, to then 5 months later go, nah, see you later, mate. We don't fancy you. And now we're just not going to have a sporting director now, apparently. So who knows if that'll work. But yeah, the past few weeks have very much given me cause for concern because anything they could have done to annoy the fans or rile the fans up, or that Twitter crew, as I was calling them before, they seem to be doing a pretty good job of poking the bear, as it were. And it makes me worried that whenever we do get this new stadium or rebuild of Old Trafford, when it's 100,000 people, how much are they going to be charging those 100,000 people to turn up? That's my concern at the minute.
Because I mean, it's something similar at Arsenal, wasn't it? They couldn't spend, ticket prices went up when they built their stadium to pay for the stadium, and I bet you any money, the Glazers still get a healthy dividends payment at the end of the year, though.
And again, Jim, not to be tinfoil hat Grimmy here, but that won't surprise me if a big part of them cost cutting was to make sure that they're still getting something out of it because of the Glazers getting such a big chunk of it, because it's still only like 25% or whatever Ratcliffe owns. So it's not like if United, it's not going to happen for another 20 years probably, but if United won the league this year, they wouldn't get those hundreds of millions of pounds of revenue from it. It would all go to the Glazers. So I do think there is something to Ratcliffe cutting all these resources down. And again, some cuts had to be made because we had become so bloated as a club. Yeah. We didn't need that many people in operations. But I just think the certain things like cancelling a Christmas party, why do the staff need a Christmas party cancelling? Are they not allowed to have things that every other employee would be able to have in any other scope of work? Like, it just, that bit seems ridiculous to me.
It is. When you've got you've got players who are being paid literally tens of thousands, some hundreds of thousands of pounds a week. And yeah, what's a Christmas party in the grand? For a normal business, I mean, I work for a business with over 250 employees, and they had a healthy revenue, but not compared to United. Right? No. We just are normal. No. Our revenue is probably the same as like the squad earns in a season. And yet they still put on a party. It's a 3-course meal, open bar, hotels, transport, all chucked in for all of their staff, and yet that's not this. It's very bizarre. It's not healthy, is it? I don't know. Do you think? I mean, they do need to cut costs, like you said. They need to sort of trim the fat, as it were. So you can sort of leave that in isolation. But then, like you said, when you got things like Dan Ashworth, all that that was effort bringing him in, really big. And there was a lot of fans, swinging dicks around, sort of saying, look how big we are. He wants to come to us. He's willing to sit out in his garden leave to come to United. Then you just go, you're all right. See you later. I mean, is stuff like that. Well, surely that must be a bit more. You can get the cost cutting, but decisions like that, is that a bit more unnerving?
Yeah, it is. And again, if it was a case of, if we got an explanation as to why Ashworth was gone, I think probably a lot of people would take whatever reasoning was given, because surely there's a reason behind it. But considering the amount of effort we took to get him, and considering every single interview Ratcliffe did under the sun before Ashworth came was, he's the best guy in England at what he does, that's why we're bringing him in. To then 5 months later get rid of him, it's kind of like, I don't know. It just seemed a very, very strange decision. There's been some reports out there that it wasn't necessarily a Ratcliffe decision. It was a Omar Bereda decision, which it may well have been. I don't know. But I'd be very suspicious if Ratcliffe has put the amount of time and effort he seems to have put into United and not been part of that. But yeah, like a lot of things with United over the past few years, it's all very questionable, head scratching, confusing, all of the above. But again, I just have to hope that Amorim is the guy that in the long term can turn it around. And my focus is what happens on the pitch, and hopefully everything else will take care of itself really at this point, because I haven't got a lot else I can cling on to really right now.
Head blowing, and just mind blowing. Yeah. And I read that the big issue was Ashworth wanted to bring in Gareth Southgate, and everybody else recognised that that's a really silly idea. But I think he should have been backed. Personally, I think Southgate was the man for United.
I wonder why.
But I just as a sidebar, Zach's asking, how do the English feel about Women's League? The club struggle financially. How committed are the supporters? Well, I would say, just a really blanket answer over that, I think the league's growing, and the interest in women's football is definitely growing. Financially, it doesn't do as well as they should. I mean, it's a growing league, so it's not going to be comparative to the male league, but it's certainly growing. What would help is if the owners treated each teams as equally as they can. That will be of benefit. And you've seen with teams like Arsenal and Chelsea, when they allow the teams into big stadiums, they've got the big crowds. And I would say, how committed the supporters? Well, tomorrow at 9:30, we have... At 9:30, 8:30 tomorrow. I don't even know what's going on my own channel. 8:30 tomorrow is the Absolute Women's Football Show, and they cover the WSL, the Championship, and they just talk about all women's football in general. See how committed those mofos are. It'll blow your mind, the stuff that they know. I find it amazing, the sort of knowledge base that everybody has on that show. It's very good. # Team Chaos. That is tomorrow, so check that one out, Zach. You'll be thoroughly impressed. And 9:30 in Europe. Yeah, that's right. And the Women's Championship is where it's at. Women's Championship, by the way, what a competitive league. Oh, I do like that. Although I don't like just how few teams are allowed to be promoted. That hurts my heart a little bit, but it is what it is. It is what it is. I think before we sort of conclude Premier League chat, we've covered what's going on at the top. We've covered how broken Spurs and United are, and just nobody knows. No one knows what's going to happen. What's going down at Everton at the moment? It's like a drama club. Any drama you want to tell us about down at Everton?
I don't actually think there is.
No?
I think for once there isn't. We're still just waiting. Just waiting on the ownership to be announced, seeing how that's going to go down. I mean, the only thing that has happened was a 4-0 win against Wolves. But also the fact that Craig Dawson has now become our second joint leading goal scorer at Goodison. I think that just sums up our season. We can't score at home. So congratulations, Craig Dawson. You're in the Everton history books for our last season at Goodison.
Well, and do you know what? Incidentally, history making, Bournemouth Ipswich game, first time they've played each other in the Premier League. Well done, Bournemouth and Ipswich. Will it be the last time? No, because they've got to play each other for a second time in this season. But beyond that, who knows? Because do you know what I haven't? I've just realised. You know what I haven't done? I haven't uploaded my slides to show you everything. So let me just do that now. Hopefully, it's going to work. Because sometimes it doesn't. Who knows?
Well, just to give you an update, whilst Josh is doing that in the Champions League, we have 2-2 Leipzig Villa. We've got. What else we got? Atlanta have got a second against Real Madrid. Brest are beating PSV 1-0 and are currently, Josh will love this, Brest are sitting third in the table right now. And then you've got PSG beating Salzburg 2-0, Bayern beating Shakhtar 3-1. And there you go. Josh, please have them uploaded because I'm running out of words to fill in this space for you.
Well, what does everybody think of the Champions League table? Do we like this table idea, or do you prefer groups? I mean, Rebecca, let's start with you. Do you like the old table format or what?
I'll be honest, I don't really pay much attention to it.
If it's a competition Everton aren't in, Rebecca doesn't care.
And I've got too many teams to keep up with at this point.
She supports teams everywhere. That Gilda, Accrington, Dundee, Aberdeen, all of them.
No, I prefer the groups from what it. I think for me now, I did pay attention to it when it was the groups. This table thing is far too confusing to even try and wrap my brain around. So I'm just like, nah, it's right.
All right. And a good Spenny fan, Chris again, is growing on him. It's really growing on him. Grimmy, what do you think? Do you like the table?
Yeah, I mean, again, not being part of it, don't really care. But again, I'm a hopeless romantic of the old ways of the group stages, and just why change it? It worked so well. I mean, I get why they changed it. Money, bigger games more often. Trying to Super League the Champions League basically. But yeah, I missed the old group stage. I just. It's like expanding the Euros and the World Cup. Did we really need to do that? Like it worked the way it worked.
Yeah, I tell you, the slight worry that I have with it is that you get more bigger games, but potentially then you're left with bigger teams dropping out much quicker, and then the layout and the final rounds aren't as nice.
I think that would only happen if the bigger teams, when they play sort of the lower rungs of the table, like you say, Real Madrid playing the young boys or Bologna slipped up there, that's when that maybe becomes an issue. But I think because of the spread of the fixtures and having to play only a couple of the bigger teams and then majority of them being sort of lower half teams, I think that's how that avoids that being, unless obviously a team turns up and surprises everybody, then, you've got Brest in third. They're obviously the big surprises of the minute. But again, I think that generally gets avoided. But of course, we haven't seen how it really shakes out yet. It'll be interesting to see who faces who in that sort of round of 16 round, because you'll have like Arsenal are currently in at the minute. They could face the likes of AC Milan or Real Madrid, or City are in there at the minute as well. So you could have some of the bigger teams go out, but I guess that adds a bit more jeopardy and excitement.
Jeopardy
to it. So yeah, we'll see.
Jeopardy. That is actually a classical piece of music, Jeopardy. But incidentally, speaking of table, look, there's one here. Hopefully, it's an up-to-date one as well.
It's not.
Fingers crossed. Liverpool top. That's all that matters to me. Anything else, man? No, really. But yes, but look at that team up the top. Liverpool is still at the top, despite not playing. We don't need to play football to win. Liverpool at the top. Then Chelsea 4 points behind. They've a game behind, but 4 points behind. Then Arsenal on 29, Man City 27, Nottingham Forest. Oh, I'm loving seeing Nottingham Forest up there on 25. Aston Villa on 25 points, Brighton on 24, Bournemouth on 24, Brentford on 23, Fulham on 23. It's a top 10 separated by 12 points. That is just awesome. I thoroughly enjoy that. Only 4 wins separating first to 10th. And then, Spurs, Newcastle, Manchester United in 13th, they're middle of the table teams. Just
Mediocre.
It'd be West Ham, Everton. Oh, what a jerk, honestly. If you could punch me, I bet you would.
Tickle you, maybe not punch.
But that's, and then down the bottom though, Southampton sort of struggling, losing to Aston Villa with John Duran scored a goal. They're getting there, changing themselves around a little bit now because they've had a bit of a struggle. And how are they doing at the moment? They're drawing, but that's still admirable. Still admirable. What's Taylor?
Sorry, just quickly, something's just come up on BBC Sport which might be of interest to the footballing podcasting world. Guardiola has come out and said that he's not going to manage another club team after City, and that he might go into national management, but he's probably done after that. So after this 2-year contract, it might well be Terra from Pep.
We'll see. You know what it is? It's because there's no other teams with enough money that are top of their league anymore. If there was another league, PSG, I bet PSG are the only other team that, well, they can't because they can't compete in Europe. If there was another big league with another team like that, I bet you he wouldn't be saying that. But what he's basically saying is
he's basically using the Klopp excuse of I don't have the energy anymore to do start a new project.
Well, let's see how much abuse he gets for that, and see if it's comparable, shall we? Because it must be hard work, though. Being able to sign who you want, pay him what you want, already be taking over a team that's already winning the league, with already having all these world-class players. That must be knackering, I tell you what.
Could you imagine if he took the Everton job?
Do you know what? I can't, because that needs a real manager, so that's why I can't imagine it.
He'd be covered in like scars and scabs when he's like punched himself in the face. Honestly, no offense to Everton, but I'm just saying Guardiola's psyche, it probably wouldn't be the best move.
Everton fans have already tweeted that when he was seen with all of the scratches on his face, they've got it, and it's just there's no face left; it's all just scratches. But then there was also another one, and he'd carved 115 into his head, which was quite funny.
Jesus.
Do you know what? You've got real manager though in old Dicey. I'm sure they love him down there. That's what we shall
fair
see.
now. New one is in. Bye.
But one thing, I mean, apparently I didn't have West Ham Wolves. I'm assuming then that must have been played on a Friday,
Monday.
Oh, yesterday. Yeah, I did all these on Sunday. Come on, got a day of rest. Sweet baby Jane, and so, Sam's not enjoying that. Sorry, Rebecca. And you know what? Someone's ringing me. I do apologize. That's terribly unprofessional. My phone's starting vibrating then. But not lovely to see you, Sam. Lovely to see you. We were bigging you up early. Grimmy was digging you out, saying the only reason you weren't on was because United lost the game. And I was like, no, Sam is all man. He's here, come rain or shine. So have some of that, Grimace. Then he dare insult Sam. God. I love that man. I love that man. That's what he was like, honest to God. What else? There was something else I was going to say. Yeah, a week where Everton didn't win, though. Enjoy it, Rebecca. It didn't win, didn't lose.
We won on Wednesday.
Did you win on Wednesday?
They won 4-0 against Wolves.
Where are they? Everton. They're look, they got a green. You got that green tick at the end there. and I was going to say, long may it continue, but that is
beat Arsenal on Saturday and there'll be chaos.
I think you should. I think you should do that. Do it with your bad self, Rebecca.
No, don't do it because then it gives Liverpool more space in the title race.
No, do you know what? Just think of stuff everybody else. You just think of you. Everton, just think of Everton. It doesn't matter what everyone else is doing. You just think of you and you smash that. And Sam saying, hello, Druty, Heather, Rebecca, Josh, and everybody. Not you, Grimmy. Dirty traitor. The things you.
I love it when you flirt, Sam.
Dirty Grimmy. I've completely thrown myself. Let's jump on to other football stuff. Other stuff happened in other leagues. In La Liga. It's looking. I mean, again, very old school table here. That incidentally, at the time, Atletico Madrid were playing Sevilla. It was 3-3. The 94th minute, I think it was Antoine Griezmann. Let me just double check. It was in the 94th minute. Antoine Griezmann scored to put them 4-3 up. Lots of goals being scored in that game by Atletico Madrid, which I didn't think they liked to do that. I didn't think they were fans of scoring lots of goals, but they gave it a whirl in that game. Anything else of interest happened? I don't know. Barcelona drew. That's quite funny. We all thoroughly enjoy that. And that's a La Liga table, very vintage-looking table with Barcelona, Real Madrid, and Atletico, who are 2 extra points on top of 33, 35. That's 35 points. So that's just 1 point behind Real Madrid. Quick maths, I tell you what. And as Zach's saying, Valencia, I know. Speaking of broken clubs, and it's just not good, Valencia. Losing to Rayo Vallecano right down at the bottom. You know what I think it is with Valencia? Is it Peter Ling the owner? I'm asking you, Grimace. I'm looking at you.
I think so. Yeah.
And who's he mates with? Gary Neville. I know the Gary Neville used to play for Man United. The curse is running downstream. It's like a trout running downstream, people. That's what it is. How dare you? How dare you break Valencia? Not really. I just reached.
It's all Jim Ratcliffe's fault.
Just reaching, being a jerk. But yeah, that's Spain. Sam's in the chat. You can let us know if anything particularly exciting happened in that one, because I just don't know. And
speaking of exciting, Villa have a third against Leipzig. It is now 3-2.
Where does that put them in that Champions League table?
As I said before, Josh, if you were paying attention, it would put them third.
Wow, well, paying attention. Oh, so that means they're knocking down Brest, though.
Brest are fourth now.
Ugh, dear.
Who are still above Barcelona, though.
And incidentally, it's Mr. Luke, although I wanted the public to say, I smell a Blythe Fartons fan in the air. Do you know what? I'm on the other side of the internet and I can smell it too. And he's wearing shorts as well, the big beard.
Why do you have to out my legs like that, Josh? What's that about?
You want to see him, honestly. He looks like someone's eaten half a chicken.
He's not wrong. When Josh looks like he's eating an entire chicken, so hey-oh.
A bucket, mate, a bucket. You should have got that. Hey-oh! Unless you missed that then, mate. You just said it. You needed more expression in it. Come on now, Grimace.
I'll get better at this as the time goes on, okay?
That's good. And Syria. I haven't even looked at the results in Syria at the moment. But look at Atlanta. When did that happen? At Atlanta at the top.
But they won their past 5 games in a row.
Oh, look at that form. All green. Dear me. And so Napoli is slipping a little bit. Inter Milan, what's going on? But they can go back on top, though. They can go back on top, I think, if they have a good win in the next game.
To be fair, Fiorentina can as well if they win their next one.
There seems to be a good... And Lazio. No, Lazio can't. Napoli has slipped. They've slipped. Indeedy doody. Roma winning 4-1. That's a nice game to see. But Milan out of the top runnings at the moment. How did they do? AC Milan, they lost at Atlanta. I used to think it was Atlanta, you know. I used to miss out that other A. There's just too many. It's too many vowels for me to say. Atalanta. But anyway,
it's ironic you're a Welshman.
Yeah, well, I know we've all that. Well, there's a lot of consonants in there as well. You know, we jam lots of stuff together so you can just phlegm everywhere. Phlegm. But where's old Lecky? Where do they play? Lecky. Oh, 16th. Battered by Roma. Lecky. Hopefully they can.
Is that Roma now led by Claudio Ranieri?
I believe. Do you know what? I think it is. I saw an interview with him. He just looks so happy.
He just looks happy wherever he is, doesn't he?
Oh, I know. He just likes life, that man. He's got a lust for life. I used to do that and dance. I've not got the energy now. Over 20 minutes. I'm on the wane. Everybody. But I've lost that. That's for left. But yeah, that's Syria. That's and over in the Bundesliga. Bayern Munich just making it a bit boring by like just winning games all the time. Beating Heidenheim 4-2. Harry Kane didn't score. Harry Kane. Musiala did. And Musiala at the moment, banging goals. 2 goals he scored. And he's so far, I'm sure he didn't score in this game. If he did and I've missed it, I'm going to feel like a right dickhead. Let me have a quick look. I can't scroll now.
I say, wasn't he injured?
I don't know. I'm not that interested in his life. What do you think I am?
Yes. That's exactly what I think you are, Josh.
Well, where they gone? Where's this week's matches? I've lost them in my page of matches that I had open.
Only on the Absolute Football Podcast do you get this.
It's just this level. Yeah, Musiala though. Musiala scored 2. He's had 8 goals in 11 games in the Bundesliga so far. Musiala, and 3 in the German Cup. He's having a bit of a steamer of a season at the moment. Only a young lad, no doubt being eyeballed by all the big teams. But I thought it was interesting that even with Harry Kane out, they're still banging the goals in. But Eintracht Frankfurt, look at that. Only lost 2. I think they lost against Dortmund 2-0 at the first game of the season. And they lost against Bayer Leverkusen, who's only lost the 1 game. But yeah, I think they drew against Bayern Munich. I think they beat Leipzig. So they have been performing against the top teams. Very interesting. But they drew 2-2 with Augsburg. But yeah, Eintracht Frankfurt making it interesting. Anything else interesting going on? I don't really know, to be perfectly honest with you. Union Berlin at 12th, they've got a special place in my heart because they were the first top flight team to have a female coach to manage the full professional game. So they've got a special place in my heart because I applaud that. I like a bit of that. So they're 12th. And what's all this going on here? Josh being the consummate professional here tonight. Moral of the story, always do your homework and bring notes. Bring notes. I got this lecture off Rebecca before we started. Bring notes. She's got all of her notes there. I'm like, where's the fun? You miss top quality content, but it makes it exciting for me as well. If I don't know what's happening in these leagues, I can react at the same time as you. We can share it. You and I, we can all share this together. So anyway, Bundesliga. At the top, you got Bayern Munich on 33 points, which is 6 points ahead of Eintracht Frankfurt, which is 1 point ahead of Leverkusen, which is 2 points ahead of Leipzig, which is 3 points ahead of Wolfsburg, on the same points of Dortmund, the same points of Freiburg, 1 point ahead of Stuttgart, on 1 point ahead of Mainz, on the same points as Werder Bremen, and 1 point ahead of Gladbach, who are 2 points ahead of Union Berlin, on the same points of Augsburg, and 3 points ahead of Hoffenheim, who are 2 points ahead of St. Pauli, 1 point ahead of Heidenheim, 5 points ahead of Klein, and 3 points ahead of Bochum. We're sitting on the bottom. It's bottom for Bochum. That rhymes. I didn't even know that was going to happen. They are yet to win a game. Who was the team? Oh, Sam will know this. There's a team in a league. It was Elche last season who didn't win until like February. This season, there was another team. Oh, I can't remember. It's in this league here. I can't remember. Sam will remind me. But let's see how long Bochum can go without winning. If they can beat February, if they can get to March without winning, they will be the winning losers of European football at the moment. So let's see what happens if Bochum stay at the bottom for Bochum. SPFL. What's happening? What's happening, Beck? Anything you want to tell us? I didn't prep here for this, by the way. I'm just dropping this on in now. Just so you know.
I've got my little Dundee report. There's not much. Wasn't the greatest match for Dundee. 3 shots, none on target. It was one of them days. But I think you'll be happy with who scored for Hearts and got both of their goals.
Do you know what? I'm just looking it up now. Go on, drop this on. Was it big shanks. Was he big? Oh, the
Yeah.
big shanks. Sam, where are you when Big Shank scores 2? Oh.
Yeah, 2 well-worked goals for Hearts. It just wasn't to be for Dundee. Struggled to get into the match. It was a frustrating one for Dundee, especially with the form that Hearts have been on. I think in the last 5 it's been 3 losses and a draw, and Dundee have been up and down, but they have had a bit more of a positive run recently. So it was a tough one for them. I mean, still 6th in the league, so it's not too bad. Still pushing for where they should be, but they do have Rangers up next, so that is going to be another difficult one for Dundee. But hopefully, keep Ryan Astley in the starting 11. He started again against Hearts. He's cemented his place in the starting 11, so keep him in, and they'll do all right, I think.
Do you know, I was out with some Scottish people this week, and I said to them, what's going on at the moment? Are Aberdeen doing well and they're competing and just struggling to keep up with Celtic, or is Brendan Rodgers doing such a good job, or what? And they just said the quality of the league means you could stick a dead horse as manager of Celtic and they'll still walk the league. So that was some quality analysis that I received there. I'm going to say, with Rebecca saying not able to with not being able to, Rebecca said, we've got you. There we go. With Everton not being able to let Rebecca down, Dundee said, we've got. Which Dundee is your team, by the way?
Just Dundee, not Dundee
Just
United. Dundee. Yeah.
Yeah, they've got to differentiate better than that, don't they? They should be Dundee City or something.
What's even funnier is they've got each other in the Scottish Cup.
Oh.
So it was announced last Monday when I was on the podcast after the FA Cup draw. It went into the Scottish Cup draw, and it's Dundee versus Dundee.
The Dundee Derby, the double D, as they like to call it. Look at Grimmy, just where your mind went immediately. It's just filth, because he'll never let you down. Yes, good old Ashley. He'll never let you down. I can't remember the rest of the words. Grimmy, do you know the rest of the words? Run around and desert you, or something like that. Apple pie and cheesecake. But that is the Scottish League. Celtic are going to win. I've got a funny feeling, sneaky suspicion. Celtic might win that one again. Awesome. Eredivisie with PSV continuing to score goals for days. They just love scoring goals. 6-1 against 20. Now, 56 goals scored in 15 games. What in the cheese on toast is going on here? Nobody knows. But that is just it's just effort. That is solid effort. Well done. Shall we have a little look? Where is Warwick losing? Warwick still losing again against Fillmore. They've only won the one game. You got to pick it up. You got to pick it up, because if we miss you, if you're gone, oh my heart. So let's have a look. Goals being scored by Go Ahead Eagles. 5-0 against Neck. That was 5-0. What else we got going on here? Yes, Hercules and Fortuna Shithart was 2-2. That was the double Desi for old Shithart there. And Ajax losing against Ahmed Ahmar. Let's all chuckle at Ajax's collapse. But look at that league. PSV sitting at the top there in 42 points. Utrecht on 34. What a funny name. Try and say that one. Go on, Grimace. Utrecht. You and Utrecht. No, he's so boring. He's so boring. Let's see. Ajax are in third place with 33 points. Phil Maud in fourth with 32.
I like how you asked me to pronounce that, by the way, not Rebecca.
I'm picking a good name for Rebecca, and then you worry, because in fifth place, FC 20 on 28. Ahmed Ahmar on 6 on 26 points. Nacht in seventh. Nacht! That's what it just looks like to me on 22 points. Go Ahead, Eagles on 21 points. Fortuna Shithard on 9th on 19th. And Rebecca, who's in 10th?
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read.
Karine Naveen.
That's it. Go on, give it a go.
Karine.
And at 11th place is the NEC in Birmingham. They're on 16 points. And as Sam said, Wilhelm II, much better sequel to Wilhelm the First. They are on 16 points in 13th. Get your glass, Rebecca. Who's in 14th?
My glasses are downstairs.
God, I want to see.
I genuinely can't read.
Look it up. Put it up on another screen. Tell me.
I've big screened it now. It was on the little one.
Go on.
Wait, who am I looking at?
14.
Oh, God. See, whatever I say is just going to sound weird.
That's just your accent, that is.
Thanks.
Go on, give it a go.
You're asking the same person that couldn't pronounce Gibraltar a few weeks ago.
Well, I don't make the rules.
I mean, you do though.
Yeah, Groningen.
Yeah, that's good enough for me. Go on, Jen. And then Hercules in 15th, and Sparta Rotterdam, or anywhere. No, they're not anywhere. They're 16th, 17th, Warwick, and 18th, Alamir. Sounds very sexy, that does. Very sexy. I'm going to say, where's Shah when you need her? When you need someone to teach people how to say words correctly, where is she? And Sam saying, Rebecca has to adopt another team from the Netherlands. I'm worried about to continue with daily life with all this football.
There's just going to be like a whiteboard with like all the team badges and like red string and like
all of these shirts.
I've drawn the line at 3.
Wow, I think that line needs to be extended. Pick a team. Here we are at League 2. We blocked out at the top because PSG, you suck. You made what could be a very competitive and enjoyable league. Not so. In the words from that is from which is that? That's not Shaun of the Dead. Is that Shaun of the Dead or the other one?
Hot Fuzz.
Let's go and have a cornetto. But look how tight it is beneath him. Marseille on 29th. Marseille. The Monaco on 29 points as well. With the team I always forget.
Lille.
Sam went in. Is that Lille? That's Lille.
I reminded you last time, and I'll remind you this time.
That's all. Well, why do they say Lille? It's the same amount. It's like one extra letter than what's up there. Come on, what is LOSC all about? Come on. Get a grip of yourselves, honestly. Leon are in 5th. It's nice in 6th. Nuns in 7th. Auxiliary cord. I think that's the thing that you plug into your TV if you want to have some sort of adapter. They're in 8th. Reims, which is paper. So you buy paper in Reims in 9th. Toulouse are in 10th. Brest in 11th. The old Rennies are in 12th. Nantes 13th. Strasbourg 14th. Angers in 15th. Saint Etienne in 16th. Le Havre in 17th. And Montpellier. What's going on in Montpellier? Down the bottom. But at least they've won a game, unlike Bochum on the bottom. And Zach is asking Rebecca, can you sport his USL team from America? He's not going to tell you what it is. You just got to guess. Will you? He's not going to tell you until you agree to it.
I was just out of respect. I was going to say no because I feel like whatever team I support, I end up jinxing at one point. Like
as long as it's not Atlanta, we're okay.
I think you should just tell her and make it, and then put it like on Twitter that Rebecca agreed to support my team and tag her in it, and then she's got no choice then, and just bullied her into it, and she's there then.
But if they lose consecutively, then don't come blaming me.
Well, this is a choice you need to make, Zach. What do you want? I was going to say, do you want to be a winner or do you want to be a loser? But I'm not going to be that harsh because that's mean. Because Rebecca's cool. She's one of the cool kids, mother duckers. But that's it. We've spoken about football, Christmas movies. We talked about European football. I wouldn't say we covered European football, but it was there. We discussed it. We made funny names. And so thank you everybody for being with us. I hope you enjoyed us. I did say on the Tuesday, I think Heather said you didn't mind the Tuesday because it didn't interfere with Monday Night Football. Sean said he likes the Tuesday because it means he's got a nice cramming 3 days of cramming absolute football podcast, and that's the way it should be in life. And But people are going to be sitting here thinking, do you know what I need? I need a little bit more Grimmy in my life. Grimmy,
help 'em.
where are you? Where are they going to find you?
I mean, God help them if they do. I'm on YouTube with my sports video gaming channel, Saint Grimmy. I'm on here, obviously. On Twitter, I'm Grimmy16. Again, you can find me talking all sorts of nonsense about football, F1, whatever sport I'm watching that day. Usually F1 or football, to be fair. And yeah, that's about it, really.
And what's the origin story of Grimmy 16? Was that how old you were when you set it up, or like
Grimmy 16 was my original Xbox account name, and my birthday is on the 16th of June, so Grimmy 16. That was my Twitter handle, and then I got a bit more creative with the YouTube with Saint Grimmy. So,
and Rebecca. Everybody wants to find more Rebecca online. Zach's saying he coaches Little Rock Rangers, and he'll send you a scarf. How nice is that? Oh, so Rebecca, where can they find you? Where art thou?
You can find me here, _Rebecca_shot_. And that is on Twitter and TikTok. You can find my Her Game 2 content at ASFC Her Game 2. You can find any of my ice hockey content at Her Game 2 Ice Hockey, where you'll find everything about the newest partnership. You can find me on the Girls in the Grandstand podcast, where we talk about things Formula 1.
Girls in the Grandstand.
Where we cover everything, F1, F2 and F3. And with the season over, we'll be posting quite a few videos of a season wrap-up and also potentially a quiz, which I didn't do too bad on last time. So that'll be fun. But yeah, you can find me anywhere, supporting all three of my teams.
Marvelous. And Drew saying she enjoyed the show tonight. She doesn't know if anyone mentioned it, but love the background graphics. You know, I thought it's that time of year, isn't it? It's that time of year to crack out the snow. Because if you can't enjoy it all the way through December, what's the point? What's the point of life?
I'm surprised no one's done the Cole Palmer celebration yet.
Oh, well, we haven't signed off yet. You spoiled that now, haven't you?
Sorry.
But we've had lots of laughs and lots of giggles, but on a serious note, as Sean has touched on, and I didn't want to bring it in sort of mid-conversation, Mikel Antonio, can we all wish him a safe recovery after his crash at the weekend, which we do indeed. Thoughts are with him. Hope he has a speedy recovery. Hope he recovers well, and he's able to get back on the pitch sooner rather than later. And to all the doctors and all the team working with him, best of luck, you guys. Hope everything goes well there. And Zach's asking, is there any updates? I've not seen anything. I've just seen that he's in recovery at the moment, is all I've seen. I think he's undergone some surgery, I believe.
Yeah, I think it was on a fracture or something he'd had, maybe. But apart from that, I think there hasn't been anything further in terms of updates.
So God willing, everything will be okay. And I've got the older slides. I'm sure Sam will update me at some point. But if you want more Absolute Football content, and why wouldn't you? After the show like this, I bet you're watching thinking, Christ, that's how people should talk football, you know? That's what why would you not? So please, over on Twitter, because X is a silly name, it's at Absolute Ball Pod. YouTube and Twitch are at Absolute Football Podcast, and on YouTube, if you are watching, like all the videos, but please subscribe. It's totally free, and every time you do, an angel gets its wings, which is such a beautiful thing to see. And over on the TikTok, we are at Absolute Football Pod, and Instagram and Threads is a thing still apparently, Absolute Football Podcast _. We're also on Blue Sky. We've created the account. I think Sam tweets off that for us. Tweets, CC, blue, or whatever they call a Blue Sky post. We're over the Absolute Football Podcast as well. And currently, it has been Premier League and European football on Mondays, but next week it is a Tuesday again. So if you need more of this top quality content, next Tuesday at 8:30. On Wednesdays, absolutely women's football with hashtag Team Chaos. They took all things women's football. If you're new to women's football, if you want to learn more, or if you just want the coverage of everything that's going on, that is the place to be. So if all the cool kids are at, and as Sam is saying here, our lovely aunt is hosting, and we have a wonderful guest. Aisha on the field is joining us. I hope they're ready. Hope they're ready for hashtag Team Chaos. But please check that out. We have a special guest there as well. So that'll be another one for you. And then on Thursday, the Rowdy Wabble, led by Charlotto at 8:30. At the same place. We're at the same places all the time. So check us out. Have a lovely evening. Enjoy it. Go hug loved ones. Hug yourself. Hug a tree. If it's warm, don't go outside. Just remember, you really can't stay, but baby, it's cold outside. Oh, TTFN, ta-ta for now. We love you dearly. Mwah!